My beloved, listen deeply, for what I have long concealed in the sacred shadows covered by my holy presence and kept in purposeful silence is now beginning to be revealed. It has never been forgotten, nor has it lost its worth or been cast aside from the plans I have for you. On the contrary, it is the most precious part of my design, kept safe in my mighty hands, hidden from every earthly gaze, shielded from ignorant offense, selfish intent, and careless words that could wither it before it had the chance to bloom. Do you remember how many times you have prayed for this with tears? How many times you have wondered why you must wait, why the dream seems to remain beyond your reach? Yet I tell you this, the delay was never a rejection but a protection. I have cradled it in my arms like a father guarding his treasured possession. For I know that if you were to receive it before the right time, it would become a burden rather than a blessing. I do not give in haste. What belongs to eternity cannot be planted in the season of immaturity. I withheld it not because you were unworthy, but because your heart needed to be made steadfast. As gold must be refined by fire, so you have been shaped through trials, pain, and silence. You did not know that while you wept, I was forming character. While you felt empty, I was filling you with the depth of wisdom. When every door seemed closed, I was opening within you the gate of discernment, so that when the moment came, you would not only see what I gave, but also have the strength to keep it, cherish it, and walk with it in steadfastness. Now in this very moment, that gate is opening. What I have shaped in the shadows, what I have breathed life into in the quiet, what I have prepared behind the scenes of your life is being brought into the light. And you must be spiritually awake and sensitive enough to recognize it, for it may not come in the form you expect, not clothed in glitter or announced with fanfare. It may arrive through a simple encounter, a dream that seems vague, or an opportunity that appears ordinary. But with me, nothing is accidental. Everything is arranged by the hand that knows all things. Let your eyes be opened by the guidance of the Holy Spirit, so your mind is not distracted by the noise of the world. Do not let familiarity blind you to the new thing I am doing. Do not let weariness cause you to close your eyes at the very moment destiny is calling. For when what I have long protected takes form, it will not wait for you forever. The door will remain open only for a divinely appointed time. If you do not step in when it is time, if you are too entangled in lesser things, if your heart is pulled toward what holds no life, you could miss the moment I have prepared through your entire journey. I need you to understand this. The revelation you are about to receive is not merely to satisfy personal desire. It is part of a greater plan, one that extends beyond your life, touches others, and impacts generations to come. This is not a simple reward for endurance. It is a commission, a covenant I have sealed with my own word, and I will entrust it to no one except the one I know will guard it with surrender, humility, and faithfulness. Therefore, you must be ready to receive without doubt. You must release every false expectation, every old pattern in which you once assumed I would work. Let me shape the journey, not your imagination. Remember, I do not require your agreement to act, but I do require your obedience to fulfill the plan. You do not need to understand everything to walk forward. You need only to believe that I am faithful. And my child, this is of great importance. Be vigilant when what I give arrives. For the enemy still lurks at the threshold, eager to snatch it from your hands through doubt, through whispered lies, or through delay disguised as careful consideration. But you have been forged, so you will no longer be easily swayed. I have placed within you a divine discernment. Use it. I have trained you through long nights and bitter tears. Now walk in the wisdom distilled from every fall you have overcome. This moment is not merely the beginning of a new season. It is a destined hour. It is a divine handover. It is the opening lines of a new chapter written by my own hand upon the tender pages of your heart. And from this moment forward, every step you take, will bear the mark of an eternal truth, that I, the Lord your God, am the one who keeps my promises, the one who watches over your destiny without turning my gaze away, and the one who will lead you through every shadowed night into the radiant light I have prepared for you. So do not hesitate, do not step back, do not trade this sacred hour for comfort or the illusion of safety. You have been trained for this very moment, and what is being revealed to you today is the reward for all those hidden days when you chose to trust me. Open your heart wide, open your spirit wide, open your hands wide, for what has been concealed is now being unveiled. And it belongs to you, but only if you are ready to receive it with a heart free of doubt and a faith that cannot be shaken. My beloved, there is something holy that has been set apart for you since before the foundations of the world, a gift not only inscribed with your name, but carrying my very breath, crafted in the realm of eternity with infinite love, heaven's highest purpose. It is not a product of chance or coincidence in the flow of temporary things. It has been cradled in the unseen, woven with the light of grace engraved by sovereign intent, and shielded from every earthly harm until the appointed fullness of time has come. You may have thought that the stirring within you was nothing more than a fleeting feeling, a minor change in the midst of life's constant motion. But I tell you, truly nothing about this moment is accidental. The tremors in your spirit, the unexplainable restlessness within you, are the very echoes of heaven touching your soul. The gentle yet authoritative call of my voice, summoning you out of the familiar to receive what has been prepared for you. This is not merely a new season, it is a sacred unveiling. What was once hidden is now being brought into the light at the exact moment I ordained in the timeline of your life. You did not see it before, not because you lacked faith or failed in effort, but because it was not yet the season. Just as a tender shoot cannot be pulled from the soil before it is ready, I would not permit this to appear until your roots had grown deep enough, until your spirit had become still enough to listen, until your character had become strong enough to carry the weight of what I am about to place in your hands. Everything that comes from me arrives at a precise time, never too early, never too late. And now you stand at that very threshold, a doorway, opening not only into a personal turning point, but into a complete, sacred, intentional, and strategic shift within my divine plan. Do not mistake this unveiling for any ordinary moment in your life. It is unlike any gift you have received before. It is not a reward for an accomplishment, but a commission from heaven, sent with urgency because it is tied to a pivotal part of your mission. What you are about to receive will not only impact you, it will become the key that unlocks the way for others. It is the answer to silent prayers, the confirmation of dreams others have abandoned, and the lifeline for souls that have grown dry. This unveiling is not here to make you feel noticed. It is here to remind you that you have been prepared for something far greater than yourself. And for that reason, its arrival carries responsibility, the responsibility to guard it, to nurture it, and to walk in it with holy discernment. You cannot step into this revelation with doubt, nor treat it as a chance to gratify personal ambition. This is the time to bow low in humility, to receive from me not only the gift itself, but the courage to hold it firmly in the midst of life's storms. Know this, the enemy too recognizes this moment. It can smell the fragrance of the harvest. It senses the light rising from your soul, and so it will do everything it can to sow doubt, to fan the flames of fear, and to make you feel unworthy. But I tell you this, you were not chosen because you are perfect, you were chosen because you are surrendered. And in that surrender I have poured out my power, so that you can stand firm against every resistance the darkness sets before you. This moment is an invitation, but not an invitation for the hesitant. It is a call for those willing to cast off the old garments of limitation and to clothe themselves with the mantle of boldness in faith. If you are waiting for a more convenient moment, a more favorable circumstance, you will miss this sacred hour. For my unveiling does not come within the confines of safety. It comes to draw you beyond your limits and place you where you must depend entirely upon me. I do not seek perfection, I seek willingness. I do not need you to be strong in the eyes of others. I need you to be vulnerable before me so that I may fill you with my own strength. For my power is made perfect in weakness. And if you walk in obedience, you will see that what you thought was a mere shift in emotion is in truth the birth of something new within your spirit. No longer distant possibilities, no longer far-off dreams. This is reality drawing near. Be alert, my child. For what has borne your name in heaven, what has been sealed with unfading love, what has waited in the storehouses of my keeping is now beginning to move toward you. It will not arrive with clamor. It will not force its way into your life. It will come as a gentle breeze, yet carrying the power to alter destiny. And if you do not open your heart, if you do not listen deeply, you may pass it by without knowing. This is not merely an event. This is a turning point. This is where time brushes against eternity. This is where the promises I once whispered in the quiet now begin to speak aloud in the light of day. And it is meant for no one else but you, the one I have seen in tears, the one I have refined in the shadows, the one I called by name before the world knew you. Therefore, my beloved, keep your heart steadfast. Walk with eyes wide open and a heart set ablaze. For this moment is not just the fulfillment of a promise. It is the proof that I have always guarded your destiny with unwavering love. And as you take hold of this by faith, all of heaven will move in step with your every stride. For you are not merely stepping into something new. You are stepping into the very center of my eternal will. And there you will see that every waiting season, every tear, every moment bowed low has not been in vain. For now you stand in the season heaven has called you into by name. My beloved, every movement unfolding around you now is not a string of random coincidences. All has been arranged with meticulous precision down to the rhythm of each heartbeat. No detail is wasted. Nothing falls outside my intent. The events converging both within your soul and in the tangible reality of your life are all part of the divine blueprint I sketched for you before the foundation of the world. The breakthrough you are about to encounter is not a strange wind blowing in from afar. It is a transformation long seated in the hidden place, watered with tears, sustained by faith, and strengthened by your unwavering surrender. Do not think you have stumbled into a fortunate moment. You have not tripped into blessing. You have been led to it by an unseen yet sovereign hand. I have prepared every smallest detail so that now, as every piece falls into place, the unveiling will happen without anything able to stand in its way. What is about to come into your life is the result of the union between my mercy and your enduring perseverance. It is a grace not meant to satisfy you for a fleeting instant, but to uphold your soul and prepare you for a long season ahead, one in which you will not only receive, but also become a source of outpouring. You have walked through many turns that once seemed meaningless, yet each of those turns was a part of the shaping journey. The moments when you thought you had lost everything were, in fact, the very moments when I was clearing away the old ground to plant a new season's harvest. The cracks in your heart where pain and expectations shattered were not failures, but the very places where my hands reached in to reshape the true self I created you to become. I have not overlooked those fractures. I have touched each crevice with my kindness, mending them with my own love, so that today you can stand without fear of anything collapsing again. What you are about to step into is not designed for your comfort. It does not come to indulge the desires of the flesh or soothe your weariness. It has been measured precisely by me for spiritual maturity, for depth of character, and for the greater stature I am calling you to. This is not a light gift that anyone can carry. It is a commission, a seal, a portion of heavenly inheritance that only those who have allowed themselves to be shaped by me can fully keep. I know there were times when you prayed for me to deliver you from seasons of drought, from days of trial and loneliness, yet instead of removing them, I used those very days to build your inner strength. I did not pull you out of the furnace because I knew the fire would not destroy you. It was refining you. It was stripping away what was unnecessary, melting away old limitations, and making way for a new version of you, stronger, steadier, and more prepared. And now, having been forged through the depths of trial with your heart tilled by loss and sacrifice, I will give you what has been shaped from my very heart. It is the distillation of mercy, the sweet fruit of faithfulness, the answer to every prayer no one else heard. But remember, this is not coming to gratify you as a fleeting reward. It is coming to thrust you into a higher step where you must keep obeying and keep moving forward and keep holding to faithfulness, not by fleeting emotion, but by the resolve of a soul that knows exactly to whom it belongs. I do not always give what is easy, but everything I give carries life. And once that life is sown into your spirit, it will bear fruit not only in your own life, but in the lives of many others. I am inviting you into a season of fruitfulness where you will not only see what I am doing, but understand why I am doing it now. For the breakthrough you are about to receive is not merely a miracle for you to praise. It is a doorway for you to step into a greater mission. Be steadfast, my beloved, for from here the journey will shift. You will no longer walk as one groping in the dark, but as one who knows they are being led. You will no longer merely survive, but begin to multiply. Yet stay watchful, for, with increase, will also come greater testing. With greater revelation will come greater demands. But do not fear, for I have prepared you for this very moment. Every detail of this plan, from the doors that have opened to the relationships that have been severed, from the dreams revived to the ideas you once thought were foolish, has been set in place at the right time, in the right way. Nothing in it is beyond my control. And if you keep walking in trust, no weapon formed against you will prevail. You are not only a receiver, you are a carrier. You are not only a beneficiary, you are one who is sent. And for that reason, what I am giving you today is not the end, it is the beginning. The beginning of a new cycle of faithfulness, the beginning of a new season of multiplication, the beginning of a deeper walk into the center of my eternal will. And there you will see that every pain you endured, every silence that seemed meaningless, every tear that fell unnoticed, was a seed sown in the right soil at the right time, now yielding an unshakable harvest. I have forged this breakthrough not to soothe your passing weariness, but to awaken the warrior within you, the one who will not retreat before the desert, will not compromise, for a shortcut will not bow to human rejection, knowing they are sent by the Holy One himself. And what I am placing in your hands is the weapon for you to step into that appointed battle. Receive it not with fear, but with the gratitude of unwavering conviction. For this is the moment I have chosen, and you are the one I have prepared. When you have walked quietly through the long days without an answer, when your soul has been weighed down by questions no one could answer, and the nights seemed endless, making you question your own, worth wondering if you had been forgotten. It is in those moments that feel the most unclear that I have been preparing a gift for you, not merely to comfort you, but to show you that every quiet step you have taken has never been meaningless. You once thought I was silent, yet in truth, I was working more than ever. While you stumbled, I was binding together what had been broken. While you felt empty, I was quietly filling you. When you bowed your head in despair, I was paving the way for something greater than you could imagine. And at the very moment you believed nothing was changing, I was moving the very heavens on your behalf. I know every pain you have endured. Not a single tear has fallen without my notice. Not a single whisper you uttered in weariness has escaped my hearing. Yet the gift I am preparing for you cannot be rushed. It is not merely a response. It is the culmination of a journey, the mark of a season of growth, a declaration from eternity that you did not give up, it did not turn away, did not walk off the path, even when you could no longer see the way. Ahead, I do not send shallow things to compensate for deep loss. A gift from heaven cannot be wrapped in human haste. It must be nurtured in perseverance, in the fire of testing, in the solitude of darkness, where true faith is formed not by intellect, but by a broken heart that still chooses to believe. I have chosen to give you not what is easy to receive, but what has the power to transform the rest of your life. And for that reason, it must take time. Time is not a delay. Time is refinement. I have not made you wait to punish you. I have made you wait so that you will value it when it comes. For the gift I am preparing is unlike anything you have ever received. It is not meant to satisfy the ego, but to awaken purpose. It is not meant to simply soothe old wounds, but to write a new chapter. And that chapter cannot begin until you are ready to walk through the door with a soul stripped of immature expectations, free from the need for recognition, and no longer dependent on the gaze of others. Do you know this? The gift has been shaped not only by the outline of your longing, but by the depth of what you have endured. You have bent under pressures unseen, carried burdens that seemed never meant for you, and kept a smile while your heart was breaking. Because of this, the gift I give cannot be something light or fleeting. It must carry the weight worthy of your journey. I have measured every crack, every shadow within you, and it is in those very places that I have placed portions of grace that no one else can carry. What I am about to give is not a reward for perfection, but an affirmation of your faithfulness when there was nothing left to hold on to. You were not chosen because you are stronger than others. You were chosen because you did not abandon me when everything seemed to collapse. And now the time has come. The soil of your heart has been tilled deep enough to receive a seed that will last forever. Your mind has been cleansed of the counterfeit so you can recognize what comes from me without mistaking it for the call of the world. Your hands have learned to open not to demand, but to receive with sincere gratitude. And your heart, though once broken, is now the perfect place for me to plant the seed of a new season. Let the waiting you have endured become the testimony of what you are about to step into. Do not despise the days that seem silent, for they were the very foundation for the resounding breakthrough that is coming. Do not regret what was lost, for sometimes it is only when you lose everything that you truly have room to receive what is most precious. And do not let your heart grow cold because of delay, for I have never forgotten you. It is only that I have loved you too much to place something sacred in your hands before you were ready to keep it. This gift, my child, is not merely a change in your life, it is the reshaping of destiny. It does not come only to make you happy, but to make you one who brings hope to those who once stood where you have stood. And when it is placed into your hands, you will understand that I have never been silent, never idle. I have simply been clearing the way for something so great that only when your soul was deep enough, soft enough, and true enough could it remain and bear fruit. Now you must remember one essential truth, one that will guard your heart from losing direction and shield your mind from the unseen but dangerous temptations. Do not compare. Do not place the sacred gift I give you on the scale against what others have. Do not look at the field beside you and wonder why their flowers have bloomed sooner, why their harvest has arrived before yours. For what you are about to receive is not a copy of another's miracle, nor leftovers from someone else's feast. It is a one-of-a-kind gift crafted solely for you, shaped by my own hands, refined in the furnace of trials, marked with your very name, and impossible to give to anyone but you. When you look around and see others entering their harvest, singing in freedom, waving the banners of victory, your heart may feel empty. You may unconsciously ask, "What about me? When will it be my turn?" And in that moment, if you are not watchful, envy may slip in like smoke, clouding the beauty that is forming within you. You may unintentionally lose the ability to sense the greatness that is on its way, simply because it does not arrive in the way you have seen it come for others. But I tell you with both power and gentleness, I do not give you what is left over. What you are about to receive is not the remainder after everyone else has been chosen. On the contrary, you are the one I have remembered from the beginning, the one I have woven together in mystery, and the one for whom I have personally appointed a time to release something that has never existed in history. This gift cannot be copied, cannot be replaced, cannot be misplaced. It is the proof of my unique creativity, shaped with all the care, intention, and deepest love I hold. Do you know why I let you wait so long? Because ordinary things can come easily, but eternal things must be washed, refined, and sealed in holiness. I have allowed you to walk through seasons of dryness and nights of spiritual darkness, not to measure your endurance, but to prepare you for this very moment. For what I am giving is not something superficial. It is the deepest part of my heart, the fruit of a steadfast companionship. You were unaware of when you prayed, when you sighed, when you bowed your head in silence. I heard, I saw, and I acted. And this gift, my child, is not a repeat of what happened to someone else. It is something new, a distinct design woven with the threads of destiny I have written for your life alone. It carries the voice of a creation never before heard, the form of a restoration conceived in tears, and the mark of a future I have carefully guarded. Therefore, if you keep looking to others for similarities, you will miss what is blossoming in your own hands. Comparison will dim the light of the sacred thing you have been given. It will cause you to measure my gift by another's standard, when what I have placed within you was never meant to fit that mold. Every life is a unique journey. Every gift bears the imprint of my hand, and what you are about to receive is a masterpiece, not to be compared, but to be cherished, guarded, and walked in with the deepest reverence. You do not need to measure yourself against anyone else. You do not need to possess what others have in order to be complete. Everything you truly need has already been placed within the portion set apart for you. And when you learn to give thanks for what I am giving you, will enter the harvest season not only with open hands, but with a heart deep enough to hold, to nurture, and to give back. For your portion was never meant for you alone. It is the flame that will light the darkness, the voice that will lift broken souls, the sign that there is one who remains faithful in every season of waiting. And that can only happen when you stop comparing. Look back at your own unique journey. The times you were misunderstood yet kept your heart pure. The times you were abandoned yet chose not to retaliate. The times you were exhausted yet refused to give up. Not everyone has walked that road. Not everyone has carried the weight you have carried. So why should your gift look like anyone else's? I have used the furnace of waiting to refine that gift. That furnace was not comfortable, but it was necessary. It was in those days when you thought you had been pushed to the margins that I was shaping something precious in the shadows. And now, as the season shifts, as the winds turn, you will see that gift is not only arriving at the right time, it is arriving in the right way, in the right form, for the right destiny you were created to step into. Therefore, do not look to the left or to the right. Do not let your heart be swayed by the pace of others. They may move faster, but you are moving deeper. They may have more, but you have what will endure. And in my kingdom, depth always outruns time. What is built on faith will stand longer than what is built on comparison. This is your hour. This is the season when your eyes will see what your heart has long believed. This is the moment I affirm that the gift meant for you does not come from excess, but from the heart of the one who loves you unchangingly, who always gives the best, not what is easiest, but what is most worthy. And you will know not by words but by living it that I am the one who never repeats himself, yet always makes all things new. And you, yes, you are the living proof of that truth. So lift your head, open your heart, and receive what has never existed before, crafted solely for you. No one else but you can carry it into this world. And when you step into that moment when the miracle becomes tangible in your life, you will realize that what I am giving bears no resemblance to anything you have ever heard, told, read about, or witnessed in the lives of others. This unfolding wonder is not a repeat version of someone else's story of faith. It carries no imprint of another's identity. It does not reveal itself in a conventional display, and it does not echo with words others have used to describe redemption or deliverance. Instead, what you are experiencing is a uniquely tailored expression perfectly aligned with the deep architecture of your soul, shaped to match the very spiritual form I personally carved into being when I made you. I am not merely sending you a blessing. I am sending you a confirmation from heaven, wrapped in the very language of your emotions, experiences, memories, and sorrows. Nothing in what I give is by chance. Every detail, every step is engraved with my infinite knowledge of you. I know exactly how you need to hear it, how you need to see it, and how you need to feel this presence different from anyone else. That is why this revelation is not simply an objective miracle, but a love letter from me written for you alone in a way that only you can fully grasp in all its depth. The difference lies in this: what you are witnessing is not merely an answer to a prayer, but a living testimony that I have never taken my eyes off. You never lost sight of you in the crowded stream of humanity. Every time you sat in silence through the night thinking you were alone, facing the emptiness, I was there. Every time you sighed in the quiet with no one to listen or comfort you, I was still there, bending close beside you. When people misunderstood you, even misjudged you, when you were measured by what was seen outwardly, and no one could grasp the battles raging within you, I remained the only one who saw the whole of who you truly are. And that is why what I am giving you this time carries such deep personal meaning, for only you know what you have been through. Only you understand the weight of still standing after so many times you were brought low. And only you can truly taste the deep sweetness of realizing you never went anywhere. You have always been here. This gift is not here just to make you rejoice in a moment, but to help you see that the long road you once thought was walked alone was in fact a journey for two, you and I. I did not show up at the end to rescue you. I was with you in every moment, even in the times you felt nothing at all. That is why what you are receiving now is not just a reward. It is proof, a tangible trace of unchanging love. It is the imprint left behind by my steps alongside yours in the dust of your seasons of trial. You will not find this in anyone else, because it is not meant for anyone else. It is my answer to the unique language of your soul, the voice you have never spoken aloud, yet it has been rising silently within you every day. It is the cry for help buried beneath a facade of strength. It is the quiet dream you once feared to admit because you thought it was too far beyond reach. And now I am answering it, not with an empty promise, but with a clear and undeniable act. I do this not only so you will believe in me, but so that you will be certain I have always believed in you. There are things you once thought you were not good enough to hold, not strong enough to carry, not worthy enough to dream of. Yet it is precisely those things that I am placing into your hands today, not because you are perfect, but because I know you have been faithful, steadfast, unwilling to give up, even when reason told you to quit. I have seen the loyalty of your heart, even when no one acknowledged it. I have seen you choose what is right when you had every reason to do the opposite. And now this blessing is heaven's confirmation. You are the one I have chosen. I have seen you. Lift this gift with both hands, not with trembling for fear of losing it, but with deep gratitude, knowing it has not come from your own merit, but from love. And remember, this is not just a new beginning, but the closing chapter for the long-standing doubts in your heart. The chapter's end for the questions: are you real? Do you hear me? Do you truly love me? Each time you touch what I have given, let it remind you, I am the faithful one, never late, never mistaken, never forgetting anyone. And when you step into the world carrying this gift, whether it is a restoration, a new door, a miraculous healing, or a sacred affirmation, you will carry a light others have never seen. For that light will not only reflect the miracle, but will shine upon the road you have traveled. It will make others realize that there has been a presence with you, and He is truly here. No longer a vague belief, no longer a drifting hope, but a living truth, real and visible. And you will not need to prove anything further, for the gift itself will be the most resounding testimony. So, my beloved, do not see this miracle as something ordinary, and do not hesitate when others fail to understand. No one else needs to. Only you need to know, for you are the one who has lived this journey, and only you will recognize that what is arriving is not merely new, it is long promised. And now, it has become reality. I was the one who did this for you, not so you would simply praise, but so you would walk forward stronger, brighter, and more assured than ever before, knowing deep within that you are the one I have chosen, the one I have preserved, and the one I still walk alongside until the very end. Let me say this to you again, slowly and deliberately, so that your heart will no longer waver, and your soul may rest in the steadfast assurance of this truth. I have never, not for a single moment, lost sight of you. Even if you have felt abandoned in the desert of unanswered prayers or adrift in the barren fields of waiting, I have always been there, unmoving, unforgetting, undistracted. Not a single longing of yours has escaped my notice. Not a single whisper from the depths of your heart has gone unheard. Every quiet desire, every sigh in the darkness, every tear that has fallen unseen, I have gathered them all. Yet my love for you is greater than the sum of every prayer you have ever offered. That is why I have not answered immediately. I do not respond merely for the sake of responding, nor do I grant blessings simply to soothe you for a moment. I am preparing something beyond your imagination, deeper than anything you have ever dared to hope for. Do you think my silence means inaction? No, I am working. I am building something great, but not in noisy places. I am preparing in the secret place where my light is not glaring but profound, where you see nothing yet everything is taking shape. In chambers hidden from your sight in the highest courts of heaven, where I reserve the most sacred treasures for those I love most, I have carved, measured, designed, and fashioned something that no one can ever take from your hands. My delay is not indifference. On the contrary, because I know you fully, because I understand you to your depths. I know that if I were to give too soon, you would take it with hands unready, and what was meant to be a blessing could become a burden. You might settle for something temporary instead of waiting for what is whole. You might grasp at something that merely resembles what I promised, but is not what I truly intended. And I love you too deeply to allow that to happen. While you have been lifting your eyes toward the heavens waiting for a sign, I have been carefully broadening the horizon. I have considered not only what you desire now, but the lasting impact that gift will have on you. I do not want to give you only what you have asked for. I want to give you what, once it reaches your hands, will transform the entire course of your life. Not only changing your circumstances, but changing your very nature, your faith, and the way you see me. Because it is that precious, I cannot handle it hastily. I do not operate from fleeting emotions. I do not build what is eternal on the foundation of impulse. So instead of yielding to impatience, I lean into the perfect wisdom of my will. I do not act in panic. I act in the calm authority of the all-knowing one. I will not let your urgency dictate my process, for I know what will endure and what will crumble. I see beyond you. I see what you cannot yet see, and I am working for your greatest good, not your temporary satisfaction. You think you are lost in the maze of existence. You feel drained from the struggle to survive. You think you are dragging your feet through a journey with no destination. But in truth, while you have been battling through each day, I have been quietly cultivating a new reality. I have been building something not upon the surface, but in the deepest foundation of your destiny, something shaped not only by my mighty hand, but by my loving heart. I have taken time to refine every detail, arrange every element, and align each part to its exact moment, setting, and person. This is a perfect orchestration, neither early nor late. It is not chance. It is the sacred order woven into the eternal timeline of heaven. And with each step you take, you are moving closer to that moment when everything will converge, every piece will fall into place, and you will finally behold the complete picture. And in that moment you will understand, my silence has never been my absence. My delay has never been indifference. It is the tender care of a father who is carefully preparing the very best for his beloved child. And when that moment is revealed, you will no longer ask why the wait, but with tears streaming, you will cry out, only, you know the time that is truly perfect. Do you realize that it was the waiting itself that shaped you into one worthy to receive? It was the years of wrestling that deepened the wellspring of your faith. It was those nights when you could see no way forward that taught you to cling to my light, even if it was only the faintest flicker. And I have seen it all. Not one small act done in faith has been forgotten. Not one moment of obedience in the midst of doubt has escaped my remembrance. Now you are about to step into the season I have prepared for you. A season you will not have to force for it, has long been appointed for you. A season where what I have built in secret will be brought into the open. A season where every sacrifice will blossom into fruit. And you will know from your own lived experience that I am good not only in the miracles but also in the days that seemed quiet. So my child, doubt no more. Do not let the whispers of the enemy make you believe I have forgotten. Stand firm, for what I have begun in your life, I will bring to completion. Nothing I touch fails to carry the mark of eternity. And you are the living proof of a work not built in haste, but forged in enduring love, steadfast faith, and eternal wisdom. I am leading you not on the path of haste, but on the path of unveiling. And at the end of that path, you will not only receive what you once prayed for, but you will see that you have become someone you never imagined. You could be a living witness to my unchanging faithfulness, and that will be the deepest miracle of all. My beloved, I know you once imagined that restoration would come from the places you had hoped before, from old doors that once stood open, from people you once trusted, or from the familiar rhythms you had grown accustomed to. You once thought the miracle would arrive by the route you could predict in a way you could understand and explain. But I, the one who formed you, the one who knows your soul completely, have chosen another way. Not because I wish to surprise you for the sake of it, but because I want you to be certain that what you are about to receive is not the product of chance, nor a reward for your own striving. It is my signature, and mine alone. I have deliberately redirected the current. I have intentionally slowed your steps along those old, seemingly safe paths so that I might lead you to a new place, a place where you have nothing left to lean on but me. Have you wondered why your efforts seemed to yield nothing? Why relationships you had counted on collapsed? Why opportunities you thought were certain slipped away? It is not because you were inadequate. It is not because I forgot. It is because I wanted to remove every possibility that you might think I made this happen on my own. For what I am preparing to give you is so great that I will not allow it to be obscured by any other source. I want, when it comes, for you to know without hesitation, without a shadow of doubt, that it was I who did it. Not people, not strategy, not luck, But I, your God, with a heart of limitless love, with full knowledge of every detail of your life, and with the patience to wait until you are ready to receive. And when it comes at the exact moment appointed, it will stop you in your tracks, not from fear but from awe. You will not be able to move forward without pausing to whisper from the depths of your heart, Lord, you truly did this for me. And you will feel your heart overflow, not with sorrow but with a profound emotion you had no name for before, the trembling awareness that, through all this time, I never left. Even when you could not see me, even when you could not hear my voice, even when everything around you felt oppressively silent, I was still there, still working, still caring for you, in a way that was quiet yet profoundly deep. You will feel deep within your soul a stirring, a sacred trembling, as if every hardened part of you begins to soften, for you will realize that I have not only heard your loudest prayers but also your wordless groans. I have not only counted the days you hoped, but also the nights you wept in silence, and I have not ignored a single moment of that journey. What you are about to receive is not compensation as though I owed you something. No, I owe nothing to anyone, but I love you, and because I love you, I will not allow what you have endured to be in vain. I will not let the storms you weathered leave behind nothing but ashes. I have recorded every wind, every raindrop, every moment you stood your ground when you felt your heart collapsing within. And for that reason, what I am about to do for you must be worthy of all that you have walked through, not to repay you, but to prove that I am the faithful one. Others may look and fail to understand why the blessing comes this way, why it bears such a strange, unusual form. But you will know. For only you understand the worth of what is coming, because only you have lived through the unseen days. Only you have stood in the unlit places, unknown to anyone else. Only you have lifted your face to the heavens and asked, Lord, are you still there? And now I answer, I have never left. No, you are not forgotten. Not one cry of yours has been swallowed into the void. I have listened not to respond in the way you expected, but to prepare what is best, what is unshakable, what is eternal. And when you take hold of it, there will be no doubt strong enough to cloud my faithfulness again. My child, picture this. What is coming will not look like anything you have imagined, for I am the one who acts beyond expectation. I do not repeat myself. I do not copy another's miracle to hand it to you. Every act of mine is a unique symphony composed for each life, and the portion for you is a melody never heard before. It is music written in the midst of the storm, and now as the storm has passed, that melody will rise, and when it rises, it will not only stir your ears but awaken your soul. You will weep, but with tears overflowing in glory. You will tremble not from fear, but from knowing you have touched the life of something sacred, undeniable. And you will walk not as the one who was once disappointed, but as the one who carries upon their shoulders the mark of mercy confirmed. You will not need to rely on any connection to open the way. You will not need cunning to seize it. What I give will come in a way that no one can explain, except by me. And that very fact will bring glory to my name, not only on your lips, but in the hearts of those who once stood at the edges of your life and dismissed you. They will see, and they will not be able to deny. This came from the Lord. So be steadfast, my beloved. Open your heart not to judge, but to receive. Not to scrutinize, but to give thanks. For what is coming is not just the answer to your prayer, it is the answer to your very existence, that you are not invisible, that you are not abandoned, that you are known, loved, and chosen. And I, the Creator of heaven and earth, am the one who has been quietly preparing this for you. And now I am bringing it forth. No delay, no error, the right time, the right person, the right you. For I have never left, and I am never late. My child, let me remind you of something your soul sometimes forgets amid the many burdens of life. Not everyone who starts first will go far, and not everyone who seems to be winning on the outside is truly heading in the right direction. while others may appear to be speeding down highways, lined with glory, reaping quick results from easily sown seeds. You, my beloved, have been held back by me, not to restrain you, but to refine you. You are not delayed. You are being prepared. I have not allowed you to be swept into the hurried current of the world, where success comes quickly but fades just as fast, where the glitter hides unfilled chasms. Instead, I have led you on a quieter path, one without fireworks, without spotlights, without applause, just you and me. I have sat with you through the long, silent nights. I have stayed with you through the barren seasons forgotten by others. And I have kept you close, not to punish you, but to refine you. Not to hold you back, but to lift you up upon a foundation that cannot be shaken. You have wondered why the waiting has been so long, why doors seem to open easily for others, while what you hope for remains unseen. But understand this, your waiting season is not meaningless. It is not a careless delay, but a part of the process of cleansing and building. I have placed you in the furnace not to destroy you, but to burn away what is no longer needed. I have stripped away false expectations, habits that slow your steps, assumptions about yourself, and the things that once made you crumble under pressure. Bit by bit, I have shaped, sharpened, and strengthened every part of you, so that now you can hold what you once were not strong enough to carry. And now, when you think you have grown accustomed to sitting at the back, when you expect nothing more than to simply survive each day, this is the moment I am bringing you to the very edge of something you never dared to imagine. You are standing at the threshold of a new chapter, not a mere upgrade of the old, but a completely different level, a wholly new space, a path you have never walked before. What is coming is not like what you once prayed for, because it is greater, deeper, and more complete. There have been cries in your soul that you could not put into words, desires so deep that language could not capture them, longings you suppressed, because you thought yourself unworthy to hope for them. But I have seen, I have heard, I have kept them all within my heart, and now I am bringing the answer. Not just a reward, but a testimony. Not just something good, but something that is the right thing at the right time for the right destiny. And when it comes, it will leave you in awe, and it will bring you to tears, not from fear, but from the overwhelming realization that I truly am the faithful one. Here is what I want you to keep in your heart. Do not reject the unexpected. Do not resist the unfamiliar path. Do not turn away from the way I work, simply because it does not match how you thought it would look. Miracles do not always arrive in familiar form. Blessings do not always walk in through old doors. Sometimes I will call you to rise from a place you never thought of, to give you something you never had the courage to ask for. Let your mind be flexible to the way I move. Let your heart be open to what you do not yet know. For I am not bound by human rules, nor am I tied to old patterns. I am the one who makes all things new. I know you like what you can control. I understand you want to see every step ahead, but the journey before you requires walking by faith, not by calculation. What I am about to unfold will need no defense, no explanation. It will speak for itself. It will declare my greatness not through your words, but through its very presence in your life. Those who once doubted, criticized, or walked away from you, they will see, and they will be unable to deny. This is the work of the hand of the Lord. Therefore, do not look back at the past and wonder why it does not resemble someone else's. Do not measure your journey by the speed of those beside you. Do not let slowness dim the beauty of what I am doing. What comes from me will never be rushed, yet it will always arrive on time, and when the time is right, it will overflow, with power be unshakable, unalterable, and untouchable. It is the portion set apart for you, and no one can take it away. Prepare yourself not by bracing in fear, but by humbling yourself in surrender. Prepare to receive what is beyond imagination. Prepare to enter not with self-assurance, but with absolute trust in me. Let your heart be ready not to understand everything, but to receive it all. For the turning has begun, The current is shifting. The door is opening. What I have promised, what you have not even dared to dream, is drawing near, and nothing can stop it once I have spoken. Nothing can delay it once I have appointed it. Nothing needs to be justified, for the very presence of it in your life will be the clearest confirmation that you have not waited in vain, not endured in vain, not been faithful in vain. I have seen your endurance. Now you will see my action, and you will know more deeply than ever before that what I prepare in the dark is always greater than what you ever asked for in the light. You have sat with me in the furnace. Now rise and step into the fire of glory, for this is the hour I bring it forth, and it will be unlike anything you have ever known. It will be an unspoken answer, a living testimony, a revelation from heaven, and it belongs to you, whole, steadfast, eternal. My child, I know there have been moments when you thought you had reached the bottom, when all strength seemed drained, when what you once trusted shattered before your eyes, and when even your own soul began to doubt whether there was anything left to hold on to. You thought you were collapsing, losing your light, being swept away by life's relentless flood. But you did not know that at the very point you saw as ruin, I was seeing a miracle beginning to sprout within you, a miracle whose depth and true strength only I could discern. While you were asking me to remove the pain, while you were praying to escape the pressure, the very things you wished to avoid were becoming the material from which something greater was being born. A sacred thing I had destined for you from the beginning. The ground of your destiny was not prepared by easy victories, but watered by tears, by sighs in the darkness, by prayers that seemed to fall into hopeless silence. I have not wasted a single tear, nor have I allowed you to suffer without purpose. You once asked me to uproot the pain from your heart, but that very pain has been softening your soul, breaking up the hardened soil long parched by old wounds. And I am using those wounds as living springs to make the ground of your heart fertile, to prepare you for what no one else can carry, a sacred thing, a blessing that does not come from convenience, but from steadfastness, forged in quiet perseverance. Every painful memory in your life has not driven the blessing away. Rather, they have drawn it closer like a magnet, pulling to itself what truly belongs to you. For in my kingdom, everything I permit carries a purpose. No pain is wasted. No pressure is random. Every wound, every breaking, every inner struggle is a tool I use not to destroy you, but to free you from what no longer serves you on the path ahead. When you think you have nothing left to offer, that is when you are truly offering your whole self, not through action, but through the depths of surrender. When you no longer have the strength to utter a prayer, that is when your spirit cries out in a language only I can understand. Your exhaustion is not a sign of failure, but the final laying down of every burden, so that I may enter fully, completely, and accomplish what I have long purposed to do. I have seen you kneel in weariness with empty hands and a broken heart, yet in that very posture, the one the world calls weakness, you are standing firmest in the realm of the Spirit. For when you bow your head in surrender, when you cease striving in your own strength, when you stop trying to control and begin to trust, you are inviting me in, not merely to comfort you, but to transform the very core of who you are. There are things within your soul that can only be released when you hold nothing back for yourself. There are gifts, visions, and revelations that only emerge when you are broken open by love. You think you are stepping back, yet you are being drawn closer to the very center of my will. You believe the door has closed, yet I am opening a far greater one, deeper, higher, leading to a place you have never stepped into before. Do not dismiss the moments when you feel weak. Do not overlook the times when all you can do is sigh and remain silent before me. For the deepest things in your soul are often birthed not in the shouts of victory, but in the trembling whispers. In that quiet, you are releasing something higher than understanding it, is the voice of unconditional obedience, the answer that requires no explanation, the nod that does not need to see the whole plan. I am not seeking strength from you as the world defines it. I do not require you to stand unshaken in every storm. What I treasure is your honest heart, the one that still believes when there is nothing left to see, still gives when there is nothing left to hold, still walks forward when every step feels unsure. This is what moves me. This is what causes me to declare, this one is worthy to carry something great. Understand this, I have never withdrawn from you. I have never turned away in your weakness. On the contrary, I have been there in every sob, in every sleepless night, in every morning you rose again, though no one noticed. And now these very moments are paving the way for a new season. Something great is being birthed, not from success, but from brokenness placed wholly in my hands. Open your heart wide. Let your weariness become the place where I pour out new strength. Let what you thought was failure become the altar where my glory descends. For the shift has begun, and you are stepping into a time when every pain will be redefined, not as a burden but as a foundation, not as a scar but as glory, not as a memory to be erased, but as a testimony to the miracle that is coming. And when that moment comes, when the blessing is revealed, when the harvest bursts forth, when the gates of heaven swing wide before you, you will no longer doubt that every time you knelt, shook all of heaven. You will see that every pain I did not remove was doing the work that comfort never could, shaping you into the one I intended you to be, stronger, deeper, and closer to me than ever before. My child, the time has come for you to no longer bow your head to hide what is rising within you. The time has come for you to stop withdrawing from the light just to avoid making others uncomfortable. Do not dim the light of what I am doing in you because you fear it will shine too brightly for those accustomed to darkness. Do not shrink back when I am the one lifting you up. Do not conceal the sacred thing I have planted with my own blood, tears, and grace, not to be buried again under the dust of fear, shame, or false modesty. The miracle I have planted in you was never meant to lie dormant. It was created to bloom, to be revealed, to become a sign for both heaven and earth that I have been present. You are not called to hide the wonder that is blossoming in your life as if it were too great to be acknowledged. On the contrary, you are called to be a living testimony not only of restoration but of glory after brokenness. Not only of victory but of the victory that rises from ruin. I did not create something new within you so that you would hide it behind the closed door of fear. I did not bring life back to what seemed dead in you, only for you to bury it again out of fear of judgmental eyes. What I have given you is not meant to be kept to yourself. It is light, and light does not belong to concealment. Light is born to shine. And the light within you, my child, is not only enough for you but will also illuminate the path for those who are desperately seeking a way out. Let what is blooming within you shine in its fullness. Do not apologize for what I am doing. Do not diminish the greatness of what is being birthed. Do not dull the true colors of the harvest simply because those around you cannot yet grasp its true worth. Stand tall in both humility and strength so that this light shines forth not as boasting but as a powerful testimony of my power. For what you are living now, what is rising within you, is not merely the result of faithfulness. It is heaven's declaration that I can bring beauty from ashes. This is not just your moment. This is a milestone, a living display of what I can do when a shattered soul chooses not to turn away, when a broken heart still chooses to trust, and when a person decides not to let go even when there is nothing left to hold. The light within you not only illuminates the road ahead but also shines back on the path you have already walked so that others will look and see clearly. This is what happens when God touches brokenness. Every ending that seemed final, every part of life that felt finished, can become a new beginning in my hands. And you are the living proof of that truth. Do not let anyone, not even yourself, dim it. You once thought that when you were restored you would return to how you were before. but I never intended to bring you back to what was. I did not repair you to restore the old form. I restored you to reshape you. And what you carry now is not the old image polished, but a new creation forged in the fire, reborn from the ashes. The light you now bear brighter than ever is the light of one who has been broken but not destroyed, wounded but not dead, who has wept yet kept walking. Do not hide it simply because others are not ready to receive it. Do not twist yourself to fit the world's approval. Do not keep silent when I am working so clearly through your life. The life I have breathed into you does not need others' acceptance to have value. I am the one who determines its worth. And when I say, this light is real, no one has the right to extinguish it. Be bold not because you wish to appear strong, but because you know the light you carry comes from me. Allow it to spread. Let your life become a song of praise, not only in sound, but in the very presence you bring. In every step you take, in every decision you make, in the way you love, forgive, and trust. Do not shrink back. Do not retreat. Reach outward, for now is the time when the harvest is no longer hidden in the night. And know this, there will be those who are surprised, those who doubt, those who do not understand. But you do not live to satisfy their gaze. You live to please me. And in my eyes you are a masterpiece in the making, not because of the bright colors of victory, but because of the deep strokes of old wounds that I have touched and healed. True light is not only beautiful, it carries power. And the light within you will make it impossible for darkness to hold on to what it once stole. That light will reach broken, doubting, weary souls. And through you they will know that I still work miracles. I still save. I still restore. And nothing is ever too lost to be touched by me. My beloved child, there are moments when, as events unfolded, you believed they were rejections. There were times you prayed, waited, and hoped through tears, yet the answer seemed never to come. And in that loneliness you asked yourself, have you forgotten me? You wondered if perhaps I did not hear you, or that you were not worthy enough. But today let me open my heart to you, so you may see more clearly what you once misunderstood. What you thought was a closed door, a cruel silence, a turning away, was in truth the deepest expression of the love I have for you. For I have never rejected you. I have not withheld my promise. I have only delayed its giving, not to test you, but to protect you. I do not want what I have prepared for you to become a burden too soon. If it were to arrive before you were ready, it could weigh you down, cause you to doubt yourself, and lead you astray, even within the very blessing you once longed for. I love you too much to let that happen. There are promises designed to be entrusted only in the season when you are strong enough to keep them, deep enough to value them, and mature enough not to lose your way because of them. I do not create holy things only to see them ruined in the hands of one not yet ready. I do not distribute treasures like a game of chance. Every blessing from me carries an eternal weight, and for that reason it cannot be placed into a soul that has not been shaped, one that has not walked the journey to form its inner depth. So instead of giving you what you prayed for right away, I gave you seasons that seemed silent, but were in truth seasons of refining. I did not lead you down the easy path, but placed you in situations where faith had to become a choice, not just once, but again and again. In the times you could not see me or hear me, you still chose to believe. In the times you had no answer, you still knelt in prayer. In the times you were misunderstood, abandoned, or wounded, you still kept walking in obedience. And that, my child, is where your faith grew, not in the bright days, but in the darkest nights. Not on the mountaintop, but in the deepest valley. I did not need to test your loyalty for my own satisfaction. I did not do it to challenge you for sport. I already knew you, chose you, and called you. But I also loved you enough not to send you into battle without armor, loved you enough not to place a crown upon your head before it was steady enough to bear its weight. You were never rejected, you were being developed. This has not been delayed, it has been built. What I am preparing for you is not a fleeting gift, but a legacy. And to bear a legacy, you need more than momentary faith. You need steadfastness, endurance, and the capacity to guard what is of heaven in the midst of a world that shifts like the wind. That is why, instead of clearing the way with instant miracles, I cleared your heart through quiet lessons. Instead of quick answers, I taught you to wait. And in that waiting, I forged you your thoughts, your emotions, and your spirit. You could not see it while you were still in the journey. But now, as you look back, you will realize every disappointment, every delay, every moment you thought all had collapsed was the very place I was laying the foundation. Every breaking made room for the new. Every silence was a moment I was writing the next chapter in a language beyond words. I know you are weary. I know there were times you thought you had been left behind. But no, my child, I have never left. I have walked beside you every step. And in those steps that seemed meaningless, you have grown quietly, persistently, profoundly. And now, as the season draws near, you will see everything I let you walk through had a reason. Nothing was wasted. No pain was without purpose. All of it shaped you into the person I saw from the very beginning, when you could not yet see yourself. True maturity does not come from comfort. It is forged from tears, from choosing what is right among countless wrongs, from pressing forward when every reason to stop is shouting at you. It is rising from the ashes. It is the ability to love again after betrayal. It is daring to open your heart once more, though it has been deeply wounded. This is you, the one I see today. Not the fragile one of the past, but the you of this moment, stronger, deeper, and bolder than ever before. And now you are standing so very close to what I have prepared, no longer distant, no longer shrouded in uncertainty. You are no longer at the starting point of the journey you have passed through the greatest turns. And what is coming is not what you once prayed for, but what you have been trained to carry. It is something that will not shake you, but will uphold you. Something that will not cause you to retreat, but will draw you into a deeper spiritual place. Something not only for you to enjoy, but for you to pass on. For this is an inheritance, and an inheritance always comes with a purpose greater than yourself. My child, there are things that have been taken from your hands, people who have walked away from you, and treasures you once tried to hold on to with all your strength, only to see them slip beyond your grasp. Those losses wounded you, made you question your own worth, and at times caused you to doubt my love. But today, I want you to look back with eyes enlightened by truth. What was once taken from you was never assigned by me to remain. What departs so easily is not of the eternal. If it can be stolen, then it was never given by me as a steadfast part of you. I do not allow fragile, temporary things to become the root of your life. I never lay foundations upon sand. If a relationship leaves when you need it most, if a dream shatters just as you thought you were about to touch it, if a door closes, despite all the faith you poured into it, it is not because I have taken from you, but because I have quietly been clearing the way for something deeper, stronger, and truer to who you really are. You once thought you were left with empty hands, but in truth, I was cleansing your hands so that what truly belongs to you would have a place to rest. I will not allow you to cling to what is not anchored in me, for if it remains without being rooted in my love and my will, it will become a burden, an idol, and in the end a chain that pulls you away from my eternal purpose for you. I love you too much to let that happen. And now, after all the seasons of loss, shedding, and letting go, I am preparing to place into your life something entirely different. Not a hurried replacement, not a replica of what you once had, but something I have nurtured in silence, watered with your own tears, and refined through your unshaken faith. This is not merely restoration, it is an upgrade from heaven itself, a gift with roots, a promise deeply planted, a portion that belongs to you which no power can shake or take from your hands. You will no longer wake up in anxiety, wondering if it will last or if it will leave as other things once did. This time you will know without question this is from me, because it will not only be present but deeply rooted, not only exist but grow, not only remain but bear fruit. And you will feel the difference clearly in your spirit. There will be rest, certainty, and a peace that surpasses all understanding. You will no longer need to control it to keep it, for I myself will be its keeper. What I am giving you this time will not require you to struggle to sustain it. It will not demand the sacrifice of your inner peace just to hold on. You will no longer have to pretend to be strong to keep people who do not value you. You will not have to suffer in silence for fear of losing something that was never rooted in me. For what I am about to place in your life carries a certainty that does not come from circumstances, does not come from people, but comes from my own unshakable power and enduring love. You will see not only with your natural eyes, but with the perception of the Spirit that this is unlike anything before. It does not come from schemes, nor from connections, nor from mere human effort. It comes from me. And because it comes from me, it carries an eternal weight, a beauty that does not fade, a stability that cannot be shaken. Whether others understand it or not, whether some look on and cannot fathom why such things are given to you, it no longer matters. For this time, you do not need human recognition. You only need to know, I am the one who has done this. Yes, you will see the difference when I give. I give in fullness. When I open a door, no one can shut it. When I pour out, no one can stop it. And you will walk in a new freedom, no longer haunted by what is left, no longer torn apart by old memories, no longer needing to build walls to protect your heart. For I am not only giving you something new, I am healing to the very root what was once broken. Believe that this time will not be like the times before. For this time you do not walk forward in fear of loss. You walk forward with the assurance of the Holy Spirit that what you carry is part of a divine design. No longer fragile, no longer fleeting, no longer something that fades away easily. It is what I have waited for the right moment to release. Something that needs no display yet carries the power to shake eternity. You will see doors open in ways that defy explanation. Opportunities will come to you with no human reasoning behind them. Relationships will enter your life not out of need, but by divine arrangement. And you will not have to explain. You will not have to prove. The results will speak for themselves. The good fruit will confirm that this is the true harvest, not manufactured by your own hand, but preserved by my faithfulness through the long journey. Walk forward without carrying the shadows of the past. Lift your head, for I am doing a new thing, something no one else can define for you, and something no one can take away from you. It is part of the inheritance I have set aside for you, a portion marked not by the gaze of man, but by my own seal of confirmation. And you will know what has left you has not diminished you in any way. On the contrary, it has cleared the way for what truly belongs to you to arrive. You will see yourself no longer wrestling with the past, but living fully in the present that I have kept for you, and you will not need to strive to hold on to it. For what I give, I protect. What I plant, I water. What I promise, I fulfill. Do not fear any more, my beloved. Do not doubt any longer. Do not look back at past disappointments as signs of failure. They were stepping stones. They were pauses. They were necessary pieces for the greater picture to be complete. And now that the season has come, I will bring it forth, not so you may be celebrated, but so that I may be glorified, so that all who see your life will have to declare, surely this is the work of the Lord. And you will know it deep within your soul, that nothing I have allowed to be taken away was ever meaningless, and nothing I have withheld was ever out of punishment. All has been with purpose. And when what I have appointed arrives, it will not come in fragility, but in fullness. It will not come merely as comfort, but as a vision fulfilled, and you will enter not with empty hands, but with a heart overflowing with what I have promised, steadfast, radiant, unshakable. For this time it comes from me, and no one will be able to take it away. Then the moment will come when you will see clearly what I promised unfolding before your very eyes, not through noise or clamor, but through a deep and steady peace. You will realize that those who once wounded you, who caused fractures that seemed beyond repair, will no longer hold the same power they once did. They may try to return, they may attempt to step into your life as they have before, but this time will be different. I have established a sacred boundary around you, a limit that cannot be crossed, not through threat or revenge, but by the holy presence of my being. I have issued a command from heaven, and my angels have been sent forth to cover you, not only to shield you from danger, but also to guard you from the forces that once wounded your soul. Every part of your life, every corner, every dream, every relationship, every hidden desire is now placed under the holy watch of my care. What belongs to you is no longer easily shaken, for I have set a spiritual hedge around all that I have given. No one can step in and destroy. No one can casually enter the dwelling place of your soul as if it were their right. Do not be troubled about the return of the past, or about those who once hurt you regaining a foothold in your life. They may knock at the door, but I have shut it, and the door I shut no one can open. This is not because you must guard it, but because I am the one who guards it. Your safety no longer depends on your own strength or vigilance, but rests in my eternal commitment to you, a promise engraved, not only in my heart, but woven into the very fabric of your destiny. You are stepping into a new season, not merely another stage of life, but a time I have appointed for what I give to have depth, foundation, and lasting vitality. This is not a fleeting good, it is not a passing miracle. It is something that will endure, not because of your striving to hold on to it, but because I have placed my promise in the very ground where you now stand. And if the promise is from me, then I myself will be the one to keep it. You no longer need to clutch it in exhaustion. You need not fear losing it, for what I place in your hands this time will be kept not by your grip, but by my mighty arm. Believe that you no longer have to wrestle with the ghosts of your past. You no longer have to guard your life like one in constant fear of a thief's return. For I have taken that position myself. I am not only the provider, I am the keeper. And what I guard no one can touch. What I give no soul can wrench from your grasp. You will feel the difference in this season. No more old cycles repeating, no more defeats as before. No more living with the sense that you must win every battle by yourself. This is the season of resting, in my keeping the season, where you do not have to prove your worth nor strain to protect what you hold dear. It is the season where my presence will cover your life like a cloud of shade in the desert, like a wall of fire that burns unceasingly around sacred ground. When what I have ordained begins to emerge, blessings, new connections, doors opening in wondrous ways. There will be those who grow curious, those who doubt, those who try to insert themselves in, and even some who once left will seek to return. But do not be afraid. You do not need to explain. You do not need to open your heart simply for the sake of courtesy. You do not need to grant anyone access again to the sacred places I have sealed. I know exactly who can walk with you in this new season and who cannot. I bear no hatred toward anyone, yet I will not allow anyone to hinder what I have planned. I love you too much to let the old spoil the new. And you must understand this: whenever I draw a boundary, it is not to limit you, but to protect what is precious and growing within you. The seeds being watered with holy rain, the dreams rising from the ashes, the hopes you thought were dead, all are coming back to life. And I will not allow anything to defile them. I am restoring, yes, but I am also doing more than restoring, I am upgrading. What you are about to receive is not merely a remade copy, but a more glorious, more perfect, more mature version. It is something that others will not understand why you are the one to receive. And that is because it does not come from your effort nor from your skill or strategy. It comes from my commitment. It comes from my faithful hand and my loving heart. It comes from the deep bond between me and you, something no one else can interfere with. And when it comes, you will know deep within that this is not something you made happen for yourself. This is something from the Father arriving at the exact moment in the perfect circumstance in an unimaginable way. And because of that, no one can take it away. No one can remove it. No one can dim the light it carries. For that light does not come from this world but from heaven, and heaven's light never fades. My child, walk forward with confidence. Step into this season not with hesitation but with deep gratitude. Let yourself exhale freely, no more fear, no more resistance. For I, the one who sustained you, when you had nothing left, am the very one leading you into a season of abundance that no one can stop. What is coming will make you realize one thing: you have never been forgotten, never abandoned, never rejected. You have only been protected with a love deep enough to say not yet when you pleaded for right now, and with a heart wide enough to hold back something better for the best time. And now that time has come. What belongs to you will no longer slip away. Those who do not belong to you will not be able to force their way in. And what I have promised, I will fulfill in a way that only I can. For this is not just a gift. This is a declaration. This is a seal from heaven. This is the beginning of a season in which the light cannot be hidden, and my love for you will become undeniable, forever, unshakable, untouchable, without end. My beloved, this is the moment for you to see yourself with new eyes. Eyes no longer clouded by disappointment or shame, but illuminated by the truth I have been quietly sowing into you throughout your journey. You once thought the pressures that wore you down were signs of weakness, but the truth is this: those very pressures forced you to let go of burdens you no longer needed to carry. The things you thought you had to hold on to strain yourself to protect roles, expectations, fears of abandonment or judgment, all have fallen from your shoulders, not because you failed, but because you have been set free. You have learned how to stop clinging to the things that once drained you. The seasons when you had to manage everything on your own, patch up your torn heart by yourself, and rise again when no one understood, those seasons have completed their work, making you stronger through surrender. You no longer need to carry what did not come from my will. You no longer have to bear the weight of responsibilities I never called you to carry. Pressure, though painful, has become a tool of liberation. And now you no longer crumble under the little things as you once did. Careless words no longer bring you to tears. Unexpected situations no longer throw you into panic. Disappointments from others no longer choke the breath out of you as before. For it was precisely those unbearable stretches that taught you how to stand firm. The long days in the wilderness where every emotion was drained, where every hope was tested, where no one understood and no one came to rescue, those very places have been the training ground for something greater. My child, the strength I have sown within you did not arrive in a single moment, but was formed little by little through each decision to endure, while still standing firm through every night of tears, without surrender through every moment. You did not understand why I was silent, yet still chose to trust me. Now you no longer need to strive to appear strong. For in the way you live, that strength is being revealed naturally, not with display, not with noise, but with a depth that can shake the very heavens of the Spirit. That strength is not found in shouting for justice, nor in impulsive reactions to defend yourself, nor in resistance that hardens the heart. True strength is manifest in your stillness, when you no longer feel the need to argue, when you no longer react to every attack, when you know how to keep peace in situations that once left you in turmoil. When others wound you, you no longer retaliate. When everything spins out of control, you no longer run away. This is the mark of a soul refined by fire. Now your responses are no longer driven by fear, but by understanding. You no longer worry about what will happen if things do not go your way, because you have learned that I always have a higher plan, a different pace, a way of working beyond human comprehension. You no longer need to prove you are right, nor hurry to reach the destination, nor strive to make others understand you. You know that I understand, and that is enough. You once lived under the reflex of fear of rejection, fear of not being enough, fear of being left behind, fear of taking the wrong path. But now what leads you is no longer fear, but the quiet of faith, a faith that requires no proof, no reasoning, no intense emotion to cling to. This faith runs so deep that when everything around you shakes, your soul still stands firm. I have seen that change. I have witnessed each step you've taken away from old instinct, choosing instead from the depth of your inner being. Every time you chose forgiveness over resentment, every time you chose silence to protect peace instead of striking back, that was when the strength I placed in you shone most brightly. Not in outward victories, but in victories within, where your soul grows stronger, more resilient, and more like my image. And hear this, my beloved, this is not only for you. I am using your life as a testimony to the world that healing is real, that peace does not come from everything being perfect, but from being anchored in me, that a person can endure what seemed impossible and still stand, not because they are strong, but because they have surrendered to the one who is stronger. Do not underestimate your quiet steps forward. Each day you choose to keep going even when motivation fades. Each day you choose to believe even when the excitement is gone. Each day you choose to love even while your heart still bears scars. These are all victories, and these unseen victories are shaping your destiny. I am using them to build a foundation that cannot be shaken, so that when blessings come, you will have the strength to receive them without being crushed by their weight. You are no longer the one who once reacted to pain with discouragement. You have been reshaped. Your soul is becoming steady as a rock. Your silence is no longer a sign of weakness, but the mark of a heart molded through years of refining trials. You no longer speak everything you think. For now, you know that strength is not in many words, but in discernment and silence at the right moment. You no longer react out of fear, for you have been reoriented by faith. This is the season when the quiet strength within you will be revealed more clearly than ever before, not through shouts or grand declarations, but through the steadiness of your spirit, not through striving or conflict, but through unshakable peace. And those who once underestimated you will be astonished, not because you have won according to the world's definition of victory, but because they will see in your eyes a light that is no longer the searching light of someone seeking something outside, but the radiance of one who has found the one dwelling within. My beloved, there is something I long for you to grasp deeply, that every faithful breath, every moment you choose to cling to faith instead of letting go, has never escaped my notice. Even in the seasons when nothing seems to move, when all your efforts appear to dissolve into nothingness, when prayers rise, yet no answer seems to return, right there in those very silences, I have been watching over you. There has not been a single tear I have not seen, not a single sigh I have not heard. You think I have been silent, but in truth I have been quietly gathering every fragment of your perseverance, weaving them into a garment of glory you cannot yet imagine. You have endured days when the sun could not warm your weary heart. You have walked through nights so dark they seemed to have no exit. And though the promises I gave you may have seemed delayed, though hope at times felt dry, you still chose to keep moving forward, not because you could see the destination, but because you trusted the one who called you. You did not require dazzling proof to believe. One word from me was enough. You stayed. You remained faithful. You did not walk away. You did not turn your back. You did not demand instant miracles. Though reality was unkind, though every reasoning voice urged you to let go, you kept your reverence. You chose surrender not because you understood everything, but because you knew I am the one who never breaks his word. It is in those very moments when no one knew, when no one saw, when no applause was heard, that I felt the truest sincerity in your heart. This was not the loud faith that thrives only under bright lights or in the roar of a cheering crowd. It was faith matured in silence, grown in seemingly empty spaces, rooted deep in barren ground. I do not seek the shouts on human lips. I look into the quiet intentions of the soul, and in that deep place you chose to trust me, and that is worth more than any ritual, more than any visible achievement. You do not realize that your very choice to remain with me has been a song that shakes the heavens. I have never required you to be flawless. I have never expected you to be entirely strong. What I have desired in you is not perfection but presence, and you have chosen that. You have stayed. In a world that urges retreat, when things do not go as planned, you have stood your ground in the rain. In an age that applauds surrender to adversity, you have remained in surrender and hope. You do not know that every time you bow your head in quiet and whisper, "No matter what, I still trust," you all of heaven takes notice. I remember each morning you rose with a heavy soul, yet still chose to give thanks. I have taken note of each moment when you had nothing tangible to hold on to, yet still lifted up praise. None of these have been forgotten. They have become a fragrance rising before my throne. They have become the testimony of one whose faith is not built on fleeting feelings, but on a personal relationship with the Creator. That is what moves my heart, not the brilliance of the act, but the sincerity, the endurance, and the willingness to believe without needing to see. You do not see the results right away, nor the instant miracles you have hoped for. But the truest miracle is you, the one who continues to pray when answers seem delayed, the one who remains faithful when no one is there to encourage you, the one who still worships in the midst of brokenness. You are the living proof of a faith that transcends feelings, and to me that is of immeasurable worth. Never think that those quiet days are in vain. Never doubt that your staying near me, even when no reward is visible, is meaningless. For in every seemingly empty moment, I am quietly planting within you the seeds of everlasting strength. One day you will understand that it was in the seasons without answers that I was doing my deepest work in your soul. It was in those nights without a single prophetic word, without the slightest sign, that I was shaping you into a warrior of light, one who does not depend on circumstances, is not shaken by noise, and is not lured by immediate rewards. You will no longer be controlled by what you see, for you will have been trained to live by what you believe. My beloved child, remain. Do not let go, do not lose heart, and do not let the silence deceive you into thinking I have abandoned you. No, I have never left. I am closer now than in the moments you felt me most tangibly. I am working in the darkness, preparing something for you that will bring you to tears, not from surprise, but from the deep realization that I have always remembered your prayers and recorded every act of faithfulness you thought no one saw. And at the appointed time, these will pour down on you like a rain of grace, not because you earned it, but because you did not turn away. I have seen it all, every steadfast step you took on the narrow edge between exhaustion and obedience. When the storms of life began to howl, when the world's call tempted others to seek quick escapes, you, in quietness and without complaint, chose to stay. You stayed on the path with no bright lights, no applause. You chose to walk in silence, keeping yourself under my guidance, though no one noticed, no one praised. I saw it all. Nothing escaped my sight. While others easily retreated at the first touch of pressure, you did not turn back. You chose to cling to faith instead of running away. When they sought the shortcuts, the easy exits that spared them from facing reality, you stepped onto the narrow road, the rugged road of obedience, where faithfulness is valued more than visible success. You stayed, not because you never grew weary, but because you know the one who called you. And that choice, the choice to keep going when everything seemed to fall apart, has touched my heart. I have seen you continue to pour out love, mercy, and hope, even when your own heart felt utterly drained. I saw you give away a smile while bleeding within. I saw you take the hand of another and lift them up while you yourself were fighting not to collapse. These unseen acts are to me fragrant offerings rising before my glorious throne. I do not look at outward appearances. I do not measure results as men do. I look deep into the motives of your heart, and what I see in you is a precious soul, a heart that continues to love and to believe, even when there is nothing left to hold on to. When words of praise escape from weary lips, I hear them. When your arms lift in worship, trembling from unseen wounds, I not only see, I feel. I know the battles you endure are not of the flesh, but of the spirit, where no one but I fully understands. You have not needed a stage, nor the spotlight to please me. You have pleased me in the dark rooms, where it was just you and me, and you still chose to say thank you. You have believed even when that faith felt as heavy as a boulder upon your shoulders. And it is that very faith, the kind that is neither loud nor ostentatious, but profoundly deep and steadfast, that has become a precious offering before me. It is not the kind of faith that comes easily when all is going well. It is a faith that has pushed through barriers, outlasted disappointments, and overcome doubts, still choosing to believe that I am the faithful one who will never abandon you halfway. Every time you whispered, "I still believe," even though I do not understand, heaven fell silent in awe of your profound surrender. You have kept walking without a map. You have obeyed without requiring confirmation. You have loved without waiting for love in return. And these very things, the ones that seem small in the eyes of the world, are great in my sight. For that is true love. That is true worship. That is true faith. Faith not dependent on what the eyes can see, but built upon the genuine bond between you and me. My child, I know well how you have fought. I know there were mornings you did not want to rise, yet you did. I know there were moments you wanted to give up, yet you chose to stand. You kept praying even when your prayers shattered into tears. You kept singing even when grief made your song falter. You kept walking even when your feet felt weighed down by 100 tangled burdens. And I have never left you. I have never taken my eyes off a single tear you have shed. With every step you take in surrender, I add another treasure to the eternal store I have prepared for you. Every time you choose to love others while your heart is wounded, I record that love with eternal ink in the books of heaven. There has not been a single moment in your weariness that I have not covered you with grace, not a single breath of perseverance that I have failed to remember. You have never been alone. I have been with you in every step, every fall, every prayer, and even in the silence. You may think that parts of your life have passed without meaning because you have not seen the results, but I declare to you, not a single act of obedience has been in vain. Not one offering from a broken heart has gone unnoticed. The tears you have shed for the sake of remaining faithful will become streams that water the harvest to come. The times you have chosen to smile while your heart was bleeding are the very seeds I will use to bring forth a season of joy. Know this, your faithfulness is not an echo into nothingness. It is a quiet yet powerful proclamation that true love still exists, that light still has the strength to drive out darkness, and that a soul fully surrendered can shake the heavens. I overlook nothing, and I myself will reward you not with fleeting things, but with eternal treasures that no one can take from your hands. Beloved child, prepare your mind and your heart, for what I am about to do through your life will not only transform your personal destiny, but will stir the atmosphere in places where it seemed no one noticed your presence. You may think you are just an ordinary person quietly passing through life without leaving a great sound behind. But I declare it is you, the one who has carried burdens in silence, remained faithful, without recognition chosen to stay. When others have withdrawn, who will be the vessel I use to shake spiritual territories that have never before been touched? You may not realize it, but doors have already begun to shift simply because of your presence in that room. Hearts have quietly softened because of a single embrace you offered, a genuine look you gave, or a whispered prayer you lifted. It is not because you had a strategy, a plan, or a reputation, but because my presence is flowing through you. And it is precisely this quiet manifestation that will bring about an impact far deeper and wider than you could ever imagine. So, my child, when your story begins to be heard, do not rush to share it in the way people often do. Do not treat it as a victory to display or a prize to boast about. Instead, cherish it as a farmer treasures a precious seed, not exposing it under the sun, but burying it deep in the soil, guarding it with faith and watering it with prayer. For what you are holding is not merely a miracle, it is a sacred commission wrapped in humility. I did not give you this so that you would become the center of attention. I entrusted it to you because you are ready to be a keeper of what is holy. This is not simply a reward, but a message, a sign I am sending through your life to awaken sleeping souls, to revive places hardened by doubt and despair. Your story will be like a change of season, not loud or chaotic, but irresistibly stirring. And when the appointed time for it to be revealed comes, you will not need to defend yourself or promote yourself. You will not need to prove your worthiness or justify the path you have taken. For in that moment, my grace will speak. My goodness will testify on your behalf through the way I have preserved you, through the way I have lifted you out of deep pits of despair, and through the doors I have opened that no human could ever unlock. Your entire life will stand as living proof of my faithfulness, and that will carry farther than any words you could speak. I know you have endured seasons when every effort seemed swallowed in silence, times when you bowed your head not knowing if you would ever lift it again. Yet it was in those very seasons that I was doing my greatest work within you, shaping your heart, refining your faith, purifying your motives, and making you into a vessel worthy to carry what I had prepared. And now, just when you think you are taking your final weary steps, you are actually walking into the very first steps of a new harvest. A harvest not only for you, but for all those whose lives will be touched by the story you have lived. I give you this gift, not because you are skilled, but because you are genuine, not because you are strong, but because you did not give up. I know you have sat in silence, holding your pain, bowing before me with only one plea. Please do not forget me. I have not forgotten. I have remembered every moment. And now I am turning those quiet tears into streams of overflowing blessing. So do not be surprised if one day you walk into a room and the atmosphere shifts. Do not be unsettled when someone approaches you and says, "There is something about you that makes me want to live differently." Do not dismiss the unexpected attention, for it is not a spotlight you have created, but the light I am shining from within you, and that light will reach into corners you never thought you could touch. You are holding in your hands a message from heaven, not to preach as a hero, but to live, to embody, and to express through your very existence. Each day you choose to walk in obedience is a day you release the fragrance of life to the souls around you. And even if you do not realize it, I am using you to heal a land long parched by its loss of trust in me. My child, do not underestimate what I have placed within you. It carries the weight of heaven. It was born out of tears, surrender, and a refining process unseen by others. Do not let humility convince you that you have nothing to give. On the contrary, it is because of that humility that you will be the one I use to reveal something so great the world cannot comprehend. For in a noisy and hurried world, I am choosing someone quiet like you to awaken what is sacred. Keep walking forward without making noise. Stay faithful even when no one notices. Remain in the light even when darkness still lingers around you. For one day people will ask, "What changed the atmosphere here?" And the answer will not be found in words, but in your very presence, a person who has allowed me to live through them. And in that moment they will know it is I who have authored your story, and it is a story no one can deny. My child, you do not need to strain or exhaust yourself crafting meticulous plans to seize what I am bringing. You do not need to wear out your mind calculating how to control the doors of blessing. No, you do not need to force open what I, myself, am preparing to place into your hands. For what is coming does not depend on your skill, nor is it dictated by the pace of your steps. It comes not because you have proven yourself capable enough, but because my appointed time has ripened. The shift ahead is the result of a moment I have long set in place in the quiet and perfect order of the heavens. You have obeyed in the season of sowing, and now you are about to step into the season of reaping. Not because you have forced time to move, but because time itself has aligned with my will. I have arranged everything with precision, every detail, every moment, and when that time comes, you will not have to struggle to fit into it. It will come to you as if it has recognized you all along, as if you and it were always meant for each other. What I have prepared is not given as an instant reward, but as a silent yet powerful confirmation that you have walked rightly, that you have remained faithful in a season that seemed unseen by anyone. And because of this, the opening I grant will be unlike anything you have ever experienced. It will not arrive with noise, but with a strange peace. Not because you will understand everything at once, but because deep in your spirit you will know, this is what I have been waiting for. When the doors begin to open, you will marvel at how effortlessly they swing wide without any pushing. Opportunities will come not through striving or drawing attention, but through your steady, quiet presence. A person who has learned to walk not by the call of the market, but by the rhythm of faith. Seemingly chance encounters will appear along your path, but they are not truly random, my child. They are the results of divine orchestration, links in the chain that connect you to the next step I have already prepared. You may think you are still not ready, that you have too many flaws, too many unresolved burdens, but I do not wait for you to become perfect before I begin a great work. I work in the middle of the process, in the midst of imperfection, in the moments when you are still questioning yourself. People you have never met will appear not to overwhelm you, but to place into your hands keys you never realized you needed. A single sentence, a brief conversation on the side, a shared glance, and suddenly you will see that this is how I open the way. No lightning strikes, no banners, just small movements infused with the sacred. Detours you never planned will lead you exactly where I want you to be. Conversations that seem ordinary will lay the foundation for great doors to open. At times, what you think is a delay is in fact a necessary slowing to keep you from arriving too soon, so that you are present at the exact moment I have appointed. Every step has its own rhythm, and your steps, whether slow, whether uncertain, are still moving toward the land I have promised. You need not fear missing out. I am the keeper of time. I am the one who causes all creation to move in perfect rhythm. If I have promised, I will fulfill it. And when it comes, you will see that it is neither shocking nor foreign. On the contrary, it will fit seamlessly into your life like a perfect piece your soul has long awaited. It will not demand that you prove your worth. Your quiet growth has already prepared you for that day. What I have ordained will not depend on whether you feel confident. It will not be limited by the ebb and flow of your emotions. It is anchored in my faithfulness and in your surrender. What I have prepared will pour into your life like a stream of fresh water into land that has been dry for far too long. Not loud but resolute, not fleeting but enduring. And when it comes, you will have nothing to do but walk forward with the awareness. This is the season I have been waiting for. You may not understand at once why I chose this moment. You may feel overwhelmed by how suddenly everything aligns. But then you will see that every time you persevered unseen, every time you chose to keep loving though your heart ached, every whispered prayer in the hidden room, none of it was wasted. They were the silent seeds that have now grown into the harvest you are about to step into. And my child, remember this. It is not the presence of others that makes you important. It is not the opening of doors that gives you value. I am the one who makes you precious. I am the one who uses you as a vessel for what is heavenly in this world, and I will keep doing so, not because you have convinced me, but because you have yielded yourself. So walk on without the need to prove yourself. Live in peace knowing that everything I have prepared is drawing near. When you cannot see the road, I am building it. When you hear nothing, I am speaking to those who will meet you. When you think you are waiting, all things are in fact waiting to converge in you. Beloved child, ready your heart for what is coming, for I tell you truly what is about to happen will shake not only your life, but also the minds of those who have silently watched you from a distance. The transformation I am setting in motion will come so swiftly that many will stop mid-thought, stunned, to see you step into a reality no one imagined you would enter so quickly. They will watch quietly, whispering in awe, for the change in you will be too evident to deny, too rapid to explain, and too profound to be captured by ordinary reasoning. They will see you move from the shadows into radiant light, from a place where you seemed forgotten to a place of honor and purpose. They will witness doors that had long been shut swing wide open and hands that once withdrew now reaching out to greet you. They will observe increase in your life, not merely in material things or position, but the blossoming of something sacred, something you could never produce on your own, yet I could. But they will not understand, for they do not know the journey you have walked. They will see the outcome, but not the cost. They will witness the glory, but have no knowledge of the nights, when you bowed your head in silent desperation, pleading with me not to abandon you. You have known nights when your tears soaked the pillow, when your prayers were not long and eloquent sentences, but broken sobs rising from the depths of your soul. Nights when you did not need an answer, you only needed to know that I was still there. And I was there every minute, every hour, every second you thought you were alone. I saw you kneel in the darkness when no one was around, when no one understood the battles you were fighting, and when no one stayed long enough to hold your hand. Yet you did not abandon your place. You remained not because you were strong, but because you trusted me, even when that trust trembled to the point of almost breaking. Those around you will never know how many times you exhaled in faith, while your heart felt as though it might shatter. They cannot see the countless moments when you wanted to give up, yet chose to cling to hope once more because of a small, quiet reminder within, I am still here. They will never know that there were mornings you rose, not because everything was well, but because you knew you still had a reason to live, and that reason was me. And for that, for those quiet yet weighty decisions, I am now rewarding you with a season of transformation so powerful it will shake even those who never believed in resurrection. They will see you radiant, but not realize that light was forged in the fire of trials. They will marvel at your steadfastness, but they do not know you learned to rise from the ashes of your own ruins. They will wonder why blessings seem to surround you like waves. Yet they cannot see that before you were embraced by grace, you wrestled in the depths of doubt and disorientation. Praise will come, but no one will know that your silent endurance was the offering most pleasing to me in the darkest days. They will question how you can walk so lightly through places they once only dreamed of. But they did not witness the times you walked without seeing the path, choosing only to trust the one who leads you. They will be astonished to see you stand in a place of influence, Yet they will not understand that it was the humility practiced in secret that led to your public elevation. This is the reversal I grant to those who have chosen surrender in silence. This is the reward for those who obey without needing to see the outcome. And you do not be surprised when the gaze of others toward you begins to change. Some will rejoice sincerely. Others will doubt, scrutinize, or even question the legitimacy of the increase you are experiencing. But do not be troubled. You do not need to defend the grace I have given you. You do not need to tailor your story to satisfy the ears of men. For what I am doing through you is not meant to make sense in human eyes. It is to testify to my power, that I can take the one who was broken and make them an instrument of healing, that I can take what was discarded and from it create something entirely new. Keep your heart tender, my child. Do not let the astonishment of others make you forget where you have come from. Walk humbly through new doors with the deep awareness that without me you could never have reached this place. And when they ask, when they marvel, when they doubt, let your very life be the answer. You do not need to refute, to argue, or to prove anything. For when true grace rests upon a person, it will speak for itself. And those with humble hearts, those who are quietly walking through a season you have once endured, will be encouraged when they see you. They will know that no tear is ever shed in vain, that no prayer ever fades into forgetfulness. They will know that if the Lord has done this for you, He can do it for them as well. And that is the deeper reason for increase, not only that you may behold what is good, but so that others looking at you will recognize God is faithful. Therefore, my beloved, when that moment comes when change rises like crashing waves and blessings pour down like a heavy rain, receive it with reverence and gratitude. Do not be swept away merely by excitement, but let the steadfastness built in the days of perseverance remain your foundation. For what I give is not only a result, it is a confirmation. A confirmation that I have seen, have heard, have known, and have remembered all you have gone through. When that season of glory arrives, when people are astonished to see you step into a new position, many will be quick to label it luck or a miraculous turning point. They will call it an unexpected breakthrough, a sudden change of fortune, a shift that happened overnight. But only you and I know the seemingly instant moment was in truth woven from years of quiet faithfulness. It was not a flash of magic in an instant, but the outcome of days spent sowing in secret, of long nights, soaked in tears and steadfast belief. It was not the gust of some lucky wind, but the slow, steady growth beneath damp soil, where no one could see, yet I was at work. People may not understand that what they witness now is only the surface. They do not see the deep, tangled, and unshakable root system formed in darkness, in waiting in seasons when no one praised you and no one noticed. You did not just appear there by chance. You were prepared, refined, and forged in fire so that you could stand when the day came. The miracle others see only on the surface is something you know to the very roots, that it is not sudden, but cultivated through a journey of unwavering surrender. You have lived through long years that seemed like nothing was happening. There were times you doubted whether you were even on the right path. There were days you wished to see the results ahead of time, but I kept silent, not because I was far, but because I was deepening your foundation. I would not hastily give you what your soul was not yet ready to carry. I could not place glory upon an unsteady base. So I kept you there in the stillness, in the hidden place, where it was just you and me, with no lights, no applause, only training, correction, and the refining fire. They will call you lucky, but you will smile because you know it is the sweat of faith. It is the quiet restraint each time you wanted to give up but chose to rise again. It is when no answers came yet you continued to believe that I was working. It is when you had nothing to hold on to except a promise and still clung to it with all your soul. They will call it a golden opportunity, but you will know it is the fruit of moments when you chose to remain silent to hear me, rather than respond to the world. It is the choice to take the harder road instead of the easy shortcut. It is surrender when there was nothing left to prove except your trust in the one who called you. I have seen every morning you woke with a heavy heart yet chose to rise and keep going. I have seen you carry fragile hope like a candle in the wind, shielding it from every storm. I have seen you endure criticism, suspicion, and doubt, yet guard your heart from bitterness. These things unseen and unknown by others are precisely why you can stand firm today without wavering. You are not arrogant because you remember how I held you in your weakest hours. You are not gloating because you recall the nights when tears were your only companion. You do not boast because deep inside you know that without me you could not have taken another step. But neither do you hesitate nor doubt nor shrink back because you know you have been prepared. You stand on a foundation that is not built on recognition or fleeting success, but on the quiet acts of faithfulness when no one was watching. I began this work in you long ago, long before anyone ever saw the potential within you. When you were still like hardened soil, I had already started to plow to water and to remove everything that did not belong to my plan. I have always known exactly what I was building, not to impress, but to reveal my glory. Everything you see now is only the visible surface of a journey marked by tears, sacrifice, and quiet commitment. You are the living proof that my grace is not merely a gift, but also a refining process. And so, my child, when the applause comes, when eyes turn toward you, remember, this is not because you are greater than others, but because you chose to remain with me when no one else stayed. When the words of praise pour in, bow your head not out of shame, but out of gratitude. For all that you have is not the accumulation of human wisdom, but a heavenly transfer given not to make you stand out, but so that my name might be glorified through your life. Do not forget the ground where you once wept, once waited, once felt abandoned. Do not forget the days you lived only by a promise, with nothing in hand but faith. It was those very things that shaped who you are today. That is why when others marvel at your sudden promotion, you can remain at peace, steady, and unshaken. You know this did not come in an instant, but through every faithful step, through every hidden season of sowing. You were not quick, you were steadfast. You were not loud, you were faithful. You were not prominent, but you remained. And because of that, you can now stand not upon a stage, but upon the solid rock I have laid for you in the secret place. Nothing on this earth can shake what I have established. No person can cancel what I have decreed. No circumstance can overturn what I have commanded. For when I begin, no one can stop me. And when I finish, all will know it was I who accomplished it, through one who chose to believe, even when nothing could be seen. My beloved child, there is something I want you to engrave deeply in your heart. My providence is not merely to fill the gaps, not only timely intervention in hardship, but also my way of affirming that you belong to me, that you are precious in my sight, and that you are loved with a love unshakable, unconditional, and not measured by achievements or perfection. When I care for you, I am not merely giving you what you need to live. I am affirming your true identity, a chosen child, fully seen, fully known, and fully loved. I see you beyond appearances, beyond actions, even beyond the prayers you speak aloud. I see the things you do not have the courage to name. I have heard the sobs in your heart when you did not want anyone to see your pain. I have seen the moments when you tried to stand strong while inside you felt as if you were breaking into pieces. I have witnessed you smile to keep others from worrying while inside you were crying out in helplessness. The hidden fears, the unanswered questions, the buried desires, all of these have never escaped my sight. You think I only see you when you are strong, but the truth is, I have loved you most tenderly when you were at your weakest. You imagine I am near only when you pray fervently, but in reality, I am closest when you sit in silence under the weight of disappointment. You have tried to hide the dreams you thought had died, believing I had forgotten them. But I say to you now, I have never forgotten. The dreams you carried in your heart as a child, the hopes you once nurtured but laid aside because of pain. I have kept them safe, as a father cradles a precious gift his child has accidentally dropped. Now what I am doing in you is not merely provision. This is a breakthrough, a divine unveiling that will not only change what happens around you, but will stir the very depths within you. This is the moment when you will not only see my love through the things I give, but you will begin to recognize your own worth through the lens with which I see you. This is not a fleeting miracle, but a vision, a spiritual mirror through which you will see yourself again, with the eyes of truth, rather than the distorted lenses you have worn for years because of hurt and rejection. What is coming will change not only your life, but also your relationship with yourself. You will no longer call yourself a failure, unworthy, or the one who always comes last. The labels you once attached to yourself will fall away. The wounds that once defined you will lose their power. The words spoken by others that made you doubt your worth will be silenced by my truth. You will see yourself not as others have defined you, but as I created you, chosen, called, and loved, my child. The breakthrough you are stepping into will be heaven's definitive voice, silencing every false accusation. It will be a heavenly confirmation that you are not merely surviving, you are living on purpose. It will be the reward not only for your faithfulness, but also the reminder that I have seen everything you have gone through and have never turned my face away. You may have once thought of yourself as an unnecessary piece in the bigger picture, but you will see that you are an irreplaceable piece, and I am placing you exactly where you belong. The things that once made you feel misplaced will become your testimony. The weaknesses that once brought you shame will become fertile ground for my glory to flourish. And you will no longer see yourself as someone past their season, but as one stepping into the exact time and plan appointed for you. My care for you is not just to help you make it through the day, it is to help you live fully. I am not merely patching up your wounds, I am healing them at the root. I am not just soothing the pain, I am awakening new life within you. And when you walk in the fullness of who I have created you to be, you will no longer seek validation from the outside. For when you know who you are in me, no rejection can bring you down. No delay can cause you to lose heart. No difficult season can take away the faith you have placed in the one who never changes. Look back on the road you have traveled, not to grieve, but to know you have never walked alone. Look at your present, not with hesitation, but with confidence that what I am doing will surpass every expectation. And look ahead not in fear, but with eyes full of light, for what is coming will confirm that you belong to me. That my love for you is not a distant theory, but a reality drawing nearer than ever before. And then, as you begin to live in this new understanding of yourself, you will no longer walk hunched under the weight of the past, but you will stand tall in the new identity I have given you. You will move without hesitation. You will speak without trembling. You will love without holding back. And in every action, every word, every step, you will reflect my love, a love that did not give up on you, even when you gave up on yourself. I am affirming you not with titles, not with applause, but with a deep transformation in your soul. And this affirmation will become the firm foundation for everything you will do in the future. It will be the source of true peace, of courage, of confidence that does not come from the self, but from the one who knew you from the beginning and still chose to love you until the end. Therefore, my beloved, open your heart. Let me show you who you are through my eyes. Let me remove the shell of insecurity that life has placed over you. And then you will begin to realize the greatest miracle is not that your circumstances have changed, but that you have been transformed. You are no longer who you once were. You are the one I love, the one I have chosen, the one I am lifting up to reveal my goodness, and that no one can deny no one can take away, no situation can reverse. If these words have touched your heart, click subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you can continue walking in faith, where God's word lights the way and His love leads you each day. God be with you. Amen.